Hey, what's up, peeps? It's your boy PC Williams coming to y'all live again on a great, beautiful Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Like I said, it's 1K Sports, baby. Uncut, unapologetic, unbiased, unfiltered. So go ahead and get right into it, y'all. Okay. Well, as you all know, bad news here in Duval. You know, Marquise Lee out for the season with a torn ACL, torn ligament. It's not official yet, but he is, out for the season right now. So that creates a big void. In other words, the Jaguars need a new receiver. And what better person to go and get than Dez Bryant? I've been saying this for about, a few months now. I've been saying that a lot of good friends I know have been saying that Jaguar fans have been saying that it's kind of been in the air, almost seeming like a match made in heaven. Dez Bryant in the Duval County. So, me personally, I feel like it's a great fit for Dez Bryant and the Jaguars. I feel like Dez Bryant has things that he wants to accomplish, and I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have things they want to accomplish, and they both have the same kind of goals, and they're both trying to get it done right now. So, me personally, I think that it's a perfect fit for Dez Bryant. Hey, what's up, mother-in-law? How you doing? I think this will be a perfect fit for Dez Bryant. Personality-wise, I know everyone thinks Dez Bryant is a firecracker, outspoken, dramatic. A lot of things have been said about Dez Bryant, but you know, I look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're not New England, where it's tight-lipped, done by the book. Everything goes Belichick way. It's not Cleveland, where you got a young, talented team. Yes, ma'am. It's not Cleveland, where you have a young, talented team. So, and you just don't want to bring in a guy like Dez Bryant that can potentially ruin the maturation of your young quarterback at Baker Mayfield. So I think the Jaguars are a perfect fit for Dez Bryant because you have outspoken guys in that locker room like Jalen Ramsey and Telvin Smith and Miles Jack, Calais Campbell. You have a strong locker room that, yeah, they're outspoken, but it's a strong environment. And that's what Dez Bryant needs. He needs a strong environment he can come into, be held accountable, and, not just be enabled. I feel like with the Cowboys, we enabled him so much that when it was time for us to reel him in, he was not responsive. Like, hey, I've already done what I wanted to do. Y'all can't change me now. So I think going through free agency has, humbled Dez Bryant. So I think the Jaguars will get a motivated Dez Bryant. He won't be any issues. So, and I think scheme wise, it's a great fit because you think about when Dez Bryant was at his best, he had a great running back. He had a good offensive line that could give the quarterback time. So when Dez Bryant has had a good running game, well, I think the Jaguars have a great running game with Leonard Fournette. O line. I don't think the Jaguars O line is as good as the Cowboys O line when healthy, but they're a young, talented work in progress. So I think they'll be fine. And Dez Bryant, he'll come in and he'll do his thing. A great running game, a good offensive line. That's when Dez Bryant has been at his best, when he's had those two things going for him, and the quarterback that's willing to put the ball up there for him to go get it, which I think Blake Bortles is. I don't think he's as talented as Tony Romo, or I don't think him and Dak are probably like, I think he's a little better than Dak because I've seen Blake play longer and, with less talent. So I would say, you know, just between the two of them, it's not much of a big difference. But I think Blake Bortles would be willing to take those chances with Dez Bryant that Dak Prescott wasn't willing to take. So, and quite frankly, no shot at Marquise Lee. I think he's a very talented receiver. I followed him at USC. I actually thought he was going to win the Heisman at USC. I think he's a great, talented kid. But just simply, Dez Bryant is better than Marquise Lee. Dez Bryant is a better receiver than Marquise Lee. That's not a shot at Marquise Lee. I'm not saying the guy sucks. I mean, he was the number one guy. But the fact of the matter is this: Dez Bryant is a better receiver than him right now. You got to think about it. Marquise Lee's best year is Dez Bryant's worst year. Yeah, it's preseason though, mother-in-law. We'll get it right. I ain't worried about it. We'll see how it all play out. But like I was saying, I just think Dez Bryant is better than Marquise Lee. Everyone's saying that Dez Bryant has fallen off. Well, if you look at Dez Bryant's numbers last year during this horrible year, Marquise Lee couldn't even touch those numbers. And that's considered his best year. So Dez Bryant just man to man is a better receiver than Marquise Lee. I understand Marquise Lee gives you the upside and gives you less drama, but he's just not better than Dez Bryant. So I don't think the Jaguars are going to downgrade by going to get Dez Bryant. Getting Dez Bryant will only help. So, and also think it'll be great for Dez Bryant because it'll make him better. Dez Bryant is going to go against arguably the best cornerback duo in the league. Now, me personally, I got Talib and Peters in LA as the two best cornerbacks in the league duo-wise. But, Ramsey and Abuye, they right there. They're great, big, strong, athletic guys. And with Dez Bryant seeing that type of competition every day in practice, it'll make him better. Whatever Dez Bryant has fallen off at, I think Jalen Ramsey and Abuye every day in practice can get that back out of him. And he can only get better because you're not going to face a cornerback as good as Jalen Ramsey every week or Abuye every week. So going against those guys in practice every day will only make Dez Bryant better, and whatever he is lacking or people feel like he lost, he'll get it back by going against those guys every day. So, and also the Jaguars and Dez Bryant is a perfect fit. And I mentioned that earlier, it's a perfect fit because right now the Jaguars have a championship defense from top to bottom. From D-line, you got 3 interior guys that are all pros. Calais Campbell, Marcel Darius, Roll Tide, and let's not forget, Malik Jackson, who's a champion. Then you got Miles Jack, who should have been a top 5 pick. The Jaguars got him in the second round. You got Telvin Smith. You got Abuye and Ramsey. You got Barry Church, who Dez Bryant is familiar with. So you have a championship defense, and in the NFL, it's not like the NBA. The NBA and NFL is different. In the NBA, you draft LeBron James, and you're pretty much in contention for a championship until he retires. In the NFL, it takes some time to really build a team, to really put together the pieces, quarterbacks, offensive line, receivers, special teams, defense, defensive line, linebackers, DBs. Once you really put a unit together in football, it takes about 2 or 3 years to put it together. Then you got about a 2 or 3 year window to really do something and establish something. And then the really great legendary teams and legendary coaches and GMs will find ways to extend that. But for the most part, you got a short window in the NFL. Let's face it, this Jaguars defense is going to get, better and richer. Ngakoue, Miles Jack, Jalen Ramsey ain't got paid yet. Bouye will want some more money. These guys are going to want to get paid, not to mention Leonard Fournette's rookie contract will expire in 2 years. Cam Robinson, your left tackle who should have been the number 1 pick in the draft, fell to the second round. So the Jaguars are gonna have to spend some money coming up here in the next couple of years. And you're gonna lose that defense. I'm hearing rumors about Dante Fowler's on the trading block. You're gonna have to pay if you trade Fowler, you must pay Ngakoue. You already paid Telvin Smith. You're gonna have to pay Miles Jack. You pay Abuye in free agency, you're going to have to pay Jalen Ramsey. So you're going to lose some of these guys over the next couple of years. Prime example, the Seahawks. They had a great defense, and one by one, piece by piece, guys started leaving. And before you know it, it's like, here we are 4 years later, we're the Seahawks. So the Jacksonville Jaguars have to take advantage of this window and say, look, we got a championship defense. We got a rookie running back on a rookie deal. We got a rookie left tackle on a rookie deal. We don't have to pay Ramsey right now. We don't have to pay Miles Jack right now. But the time is coming for us to pay them. And we may not be able to keep everyone. So you have a window right now to win, and you have to take advantage of it. So, and going back to Dez Bryant, Dez Bryant, Father Time is undefeated. Dez Bryant has had injuries to the foot, the knee, all kind of stuff going on with him. So Dez Bryant hasn't been healthy for a long time. And me personally, I still think he's a number one guy. Is he a top five receiver? No. But is he still someone that can go out there and get you 1,000 yards and get you 10 touchdowns? Yes. Dez Bryant can still get you 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Hell, if Dak Prescott throws the ball differently a few times last year, Dez Bryant gets 1,000 yards easily. He gets 10 touchdowns easily. I can go show you on film where if Dak Prescott makes this throw or makes that throw or makes that throw, Dez Bryant easily has 1,000 yards and at least 8 touchdowns. So he can still get you 8 to 10 touchdowns and 1,000 yards. That's very much serviceable in Jacksonville and very much needed because Leonard Fournette's going to see 8-man boxes. D.D. Westbrook is nice, but he's young. Keenan Cole is nice, but he's young. Stepharian Jenkins, the tight end, you got a nice, young, hungry receiving core. You bring in a guy like Dez Bryant, that puts you over the top. So, like I said, Dez Bryant coming in, he's not going to have to play a game. Dez Bryant can come sign with the Jaguars and sit on the sideline, and he will literally have the third most catches, yards, and he has more touchdowns than Jimmy Smith and Kenny McCardell. But if Dez Bryant never plays a down as a Jacksonville Jaguar, he'll have the third most yards in terms of guys to put on the Jacksonville Jaguars uniform. The guy has a great resume that he's coming in with. Dez Bryant is not coming in as some bum that he's been betrayed as by the media. I think Dez Bryant is still a solid receiver, not top 5, maybe not even top 10, but he's still good for 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. And you put that with Leonard Fournette getting you inevitably 1,500 and 10 touchdowns, Keenan Cole giving you what he's going to give you, and that defense shutting everybody down and holding everybody under 20 points or so, that makes you a dominant team, a force in this league. And you have a guy like Dez Bryant who's hungry and wants something bad because he feels like the finish line is somewhere down there and I can see it. So let me join a contender and let me take advantage of these lies. I think Dez Bryant has about 3 years tops left in him in terms of being a dominant receiver. I think Father Thomas caught to him. He's banged up. He's not the same guy he once was physically. He still got heart. He still got that dog in him, and he's still gonna come into your camp and give you everything he's got. But Dez Bryant has to see reality. Time is running out. I think he's got 3 years tops. The Jaguars got about 2 or 3 years before they have to start breaking up this defense. Hey, take advantage right now. You got a 3-year window right now where you can have Dez Bryant at your price. You can get Dez Bryant at your price. Keep your championship defense intact for the next 2 or 3 years. You got to take advantage of that. So Dez Bryant in Jacksonville, it's a match made in heaven. It's just, I've always said it since the Cowboys cut Dez Bryant. Look, Jaguars are the team because Dez Bryant will get what he wants and the Jaguars will get what they want. Dez Bryant wants to win the championship. He wants to go give it to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys one last time, and he wants to be a number one guy. Dez Bryant will get all 3 of those things in Jacksonville. He will get to be a number one guy. He will get to play for a contender, and he will get a shot at the Jaguars, when they go play him in Jacksonville. So, like I said, Dez Bryant, he instantly makes you a better team. The Jaguars and Dez Bryant is a match made in heaven. I think personality-wise, we embrace Dez Bryant. We're Duval County. We're cocky. We're arrogant. We're hostile. We're volatile. We embrace that kind of personality because that's what the Jacksonville Jaguars have built this team on. Personality, being outspoken, backing up what you say. We embrace that. I think Dez Bryant hasn't signed with the Browns or the Patriots or something like that because his personality won't fit. It just won't work. With the Jacksonville Jaguars, it'll work. We'll embrace that about Dez Bryant because we got some dogs ourselves. With the Jacksonville Jaguars have dogs themselves in Ramsey, and Telvin Smith. You got a strong locker room, so Dez Bryant, he's not going to come in there half-stepping. He's going to give the respect. He's going to command respect. So altogether, it only makes the Jaguars, think about it, You didn't have a Dez Bryant last year, and you were a half away from going to the Super Bowl. You bring in Dez Bryant with this same defense. Why not? Why not? Dez Bryant, come Duval County, man. I would love to see it. As a Cowboy fan, I would hate to see Dez Bryant wearing someone else's uniform. But, hey, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And we cut Dez Bryant. You know, we let him go. So, hey, he's fair game. So, if Dez Bryant signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, I would love it. I'll be happy for him. We can finally put this whole Dez Bryant thing to rest, and he can go do his thing. All right. Well, that does it for Dez Bryant. Well, the great Nas once said, people fear what they don't understand, hate what they can't conquer. I guess that's just the theory of man. Excuse me. And you know what, people? If you go say something, say it. Don't hide behind some off the record or some, anonymous, or don't say it was me type BS, man. Just come out and say it. Some anonymous coach, or better yet, I don't use the word anonymous. I'm gonna say this. Some gutless coward came out and said that Nick Saban, who was the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, the head coach of the defending national champion Crimson Tide, they said Nick Saban is overrated. Now, I think this anonymous coach, my bad, this gutless coward probably had too much to drink. Well, I don't know, probably coached for LSU. I don't know. But apparently, it's haterade all around the world. And this anonymous coach, my bad, this gutless coward has decided to take a shot at Nick Saban. Now, let me dive into why he said Nick Saban is overrated, because this is 1K Sports, and I will give you it. I will, relay your message that you said. Now, if your message is crap, I will destroy your message, but I will give you a chance to have your message heard. He said that if I had the #1 recruiting class every year, I would win a national championship. They said the guy pretty much has 25 first rounders every year. So Nick Saban is overrated because he recruits great players. If you're going to be a great college coach, you got to recruit. You got to adjust. Recruitment is part of the tools to be a great college coach. You can't be a great college coach without great players. You can't win without great players. Oh, so is Red Auerbach overrated because he had Bill Russell and Sam Jones in the crew? Is Phil Jackson overrated because he had Jordan and Pippen and Rodman, and then Kobe and Shaq, then Kobe? So are they overrated too? Is Paul Bear Bryant overrated? Okay, Nick Saban had the top recruiting class. So what? That doesn't guarantee championships. Florida State has #1 recruiting class. Florida State is top 5 every year. Before Saban, before and after Nick Saban, FSU has been in the top 5 in recruiting every year. They got one championship to show for it. Ohio State, they're in the top 3 every year in recruiting. They got one championship to show for it. All these great players, the Ezekiel Elliott's, the Joey Bosa's, the Michael Thomas's, the Eli Apples, the Marshawn Lattimore's, all these guys. You have recruited all these guys and you got one championship. So that proves what? That proves that just because I go in and get the best players, that don't guarantee I'm going to win a championship. And yes, Nick Saban has had some great talented players. Countless All-Americans. I think 30 to be exact. Not to mention the all-conference guys, the great guys. But tell me this. Where is Nick Saban's Baker Mayfield? Where is Nick Saban's, Johnny Manziel or Cam Newton? That's right, he never had one. The guy has won 5 national championships with Greg McElroy, AJ McCarron, Jake Coker. Jake Coker, man. And then last year he had Jalen Hurts. He threw in Tua. So altogether, 5 different starting quarterbacks have won a championship for Nick Saban. So that tells me that Nick Saban doesn't need great players. Well, he does need them, but that's not why he's winning. He's winning because he just simply coaches better than your favorite team's coach. He out-coaches you. He out-recruits you. His teams outplay you. They out-physical you. They take your will away. That's not recruiting. I can go and get a 300-pound tackle all day long, but if that guy ain't got no heart, if I can't coach him, then all he is a big name on a big letter. That's it. Nick Saban does more than just go and get the best players. There are other great players in the country. I'm going to give y'all some numbers to really put this in context about just how overrated Nick Saban is. His overall record at Alabama is 132-20. 132-20. He's 10-4 in bowl games. He's got 5 SEC championships. He's 75-13 in SEC games. He's got 21. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky here. Because, yeah, Nick Saban won a bunch of games, but who's he beating? Okay, I'll tell you who he's beating. He has 21 wins, 21 victories over AP top 5 teams. That's the most all time. He's got 7 wins versus a team that was currently ranked number 1 when he played them. So 7 times Nick Saban has played a team that was ranked number 1 and he beat them. That's a record. He has the most wins as a head coach who is currently ranked number 1 in the country. So he's beaten the best. He's taken down the absolute best. And when he's the best, he defends his title better than anyone. Nick Saban has had countless assistants grab head coaching jobs. University of Tennessee head coach Jeremy Pruitt. That's Nick Saban's ex-defensive coordinator. Lane Kiffin, the head coach at FAU. That's Nick Saban's former offensive coordinator. The man's got 5 national championships, and he's done it with 6 different coordinators. Pete Carroll was a great college coach. But once Lindell White left, once Reggie Bush left, once Matt Leinart left, once Ray Maluga left, once that little core he created left, he stopped winning. Nick Saban had Mark Ingram. He had Julio Jones. He had Trent Richardson. He had Rolando McClain. And he won a championship. They left. He got Trent Richardson. He got Dante Hightower, CJ Mosley. He got Amari Cooper. He got TJ Yeldon. They won a championship. They left. He got Derrick Henry. He got Calvin Ridley. You know, he got Mac Wilson. He got Jalen Hurts. He got this guy and that guy. And he won again. It doesn't matter. He will win with whoever he can win with. Well, Mike, we all need ratings, right? I mean, honestly and truly, Mike, FSU had a bad year last year, man. But I think there's a lot of people who feel like had DeAndre not got hurt, they still would have, they would have been great. So he's back this year. And Virginia Tech, they're good for 8-9 wins anyway. So, prime time or not, it's a big name, it's a big time rivalry. FSU and VTech, man, like, and hey, let it be. I think Florida State will rebound this year, and Virginia Tech is always a dominant or a formidable opponent in the ACC. So let's see how it play out, because I actually think Florida State will have a great year this year with DeAndre coming back if he can stay out of trouble and stay healthy. Virginia Tech, they're always going to be solid, even with Frank being gone, they're still solid. So, yo, Matt, what's up, baby? I'm glad you're watching. I'm addressing this gutless coward that called Nick Saban overrated. Anyways, back to my soliloquy. Let's see. Yeah, play at noontime. That's how bad it is, Mike. Now, the guy that called Nick Saban overrated, does he know that since 2008, at some point during the season, Bama has been ranked number one? And like I said earlier, Nick Saban has the most wins in college football history as a number one team in the country. What's up, Matt? Yeah, I gotta call him out, dog. You know, yeah, gutless coward, gutless, man. So Nick Saban's overrated. Well, let me just tell you about Nick Saban and the losses he's had. Because, yeah, he's got a bunch of wins and national championships. The man's got 5 national championships in Alabama, and he's been there a decade. So let me tell you just how much, Nick Saban could be really owning college football. Well, he owns it right now. But let me go down and detail you some losses, and that will maybe give you a deeper appreciation, because I tell folks all the time, I gain more appreciation for Alabama when they lose, because they don't lose a whole lot. And when they lose, it's because, I guarantee you, it ain't because they got blown out or they just sucked that night. It's because they played against a team that just simply was hot that day, was hot at that time, everything going right for them. Right, anonymously. The guy had too many drinks, Matt. You know what? I bet you it's LSU coach Ed Edgeron, whatever his name is. It's somebody in the SEC. Somebody's mad, somebody's feelings hurt. Now, let me run down some of Nick Saban's losses, and maybe it'll put it in a bigger context of just how dominant he's been. Because I can give you the numbers all day about how many he's won and all that. Okay. 2010, Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide were defending national champions. They went 9-3. They won a bowl game against Michigan State, blew them out. They were literally a possession away from winning every game. They were down 21-0, I think, to South Carolina, came back, made the game, fell short. Played a game in LSU in Death Valley. Down to the wire, came down to one play. Lost to Auburn in Bryant-Denny. Cam Newton was a Heisman Trophy winner that year and national champion. No shame in that. 2011, he loses 9-6 to the number 1 ranked LSU team in the country. It was called a game of the century. They lost 9-6. A game they easily could have won by 2 touchdowns. And they played LSU again and blew them out in the national championship game. 2012, they lose a game to Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel, 24-19. Edgy McCarron threw an interception on the 5-yard line. They had a chance to win that game. 2013, Bama was off of back-to-back national championships, ready to defend their championship, and all of a sudden, a missed field goal turned into a damn 100-yard sprint to the end zone. Not one top player for Bama was on the field at the time this happened. They lost on the kick 6. Then lost the Sugar Bowl to Oklahoma. 2014, a Hail Mary fails by Blake Sims. They lose to Ole Miss. 2014, in the Sugar Bowl against Ohio State, they're up 21-6. Now, I firmly believe if Blake Sims doesn't throw the pick 6, they'd never get back in that game, and it was never a game. That's just me. 2015, they lose a game to Ole Miss in which they had 5 turnovers. They still had a chance to win that game. I'm just giving you some of the losses Alabama has had. The national championship game against Clemson a year ago or 2 years ago. Deshaun Watson plays the game of his life. Mike Williams plays the game of his life. Jalen Hurts was not good that night. Bo Scarborough broke his leg. No running game. Calvin Ridley was a non-factor, and so is Ardarius Stewart, because Jalen can't throw. And by the skin of their teeth, they lose as time expired. So in defeat, you can't even just beat Alabama. You got to play the best game of your life, and you got to hope that they're off by a little bit. That's how you have a chance to beat them. So overrated? Come on, man. You can't even put your name on that. I'm going to give you this one last record, and I'm done talking about this nonsense from this gutless coward. Nick Saban has 5 national championships. He has 4 home losses. Nick Saban is more likely to win a national championship than he is to lose a home game. You gutless coward that said this, let that sink in. Nick Saban is more likely to win a national championship than he is likely to lose a game in Bryant-Denny Stadium. And 2 of those 4 losses came to Heisman Trophy winners. Another one came to a number 1 ranked LSU. The other one came with the 5 turnovers against Ole Miss, who at the time was a red-hot team. Like I said, man, if you go say something, say it. It's 1K Sports Uncut, so I gave the gutless coward I read his quote here on my show. But clearly his comments are BS, ill-informed, he's ignorant, he's jealous, he got sour grapes. Could it be this? Could it be this, man? This is hate. This is envy. This is what they mad at right here. Cover ESPN. I ain't nothing to Nick Saban. I ain't nothing, man. The cover ESPN, so what? He is ESPN. So there you have it. According to the gutless coward, Nick Saban is overrated. Yeah, right. That was real funny. Nice try, though, whoever you were. Now, enough about that. All right, people. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you go try to fix it, fix what needs to be broken. Yep, jealousy, dog. Jealousy. The guy, Nick Saban, dog. Like I said, bro, he's got more national championships than home losses. Like, come on, man. Like, overrated? Nah. Underappreciated, yeah. Not overrated, though. Now, the NFL, apparently, there is some kind of issue with the helmet rule that they're trying so hard to fix. I just say, just stop it, man. Stop trying to change a game that naturally can't be changed. Football is a violent sport. It's violent. It's deadly. One hit can change your life. I've seen guys take one hit, never walked again. I've seen guys take one hit, never played again. I've seen guys take one hit, ended their whole season, was never the same again after that. Football is dangerous, but we love it. It's like war. It's like armor. It's like you put on that jersey, that helmet, that shoulder pads, and you realize every day I set in my locker at Jackson and at Weber, and every day I put on that uniform, and you know what? Every day I say, you know what? I may not walk again after this. This may be the last time I walk and wipe my own behind after this practice. I may never walk again after today. You put those pads on, you make that choice to go out there. One of the Red Tails, the Tuskegee Airmen, he once said, because they were the fighting pilots over there in Italy during World War II, he said, every time I get in that plane and I close that door, it feels like I'm shitting the lid on my own coffin. When I put on that helmet and shoulder pads, man, it felt like I was finna walk into a situation that I may not walk out of. It's fear. It's real fear. And I've lived it. My guy, Matt Ellis, Mike Frazier, my guys who tuned to podcast, all my old teammates, we have lived that fear. And it's real. But you know what? That's why we play the game. We play it. As crazy as it sounds, to play football, you got to be a little crazy. You got to have some screws loose about yourself. So, exactly, man, exactly. Football is a collision sport. Basketball is a contact sport. Football is collision. You are trying to knock someone out. You are trying to knock someone into next week. You pray to God he don't get hurt. You pray to God he's okay. But understand something, man. We out here now. We in this now. It's like Ernie Davis said. You're my best friend and my worst enemy, all in that one little contact. It's like a car crash. It literally, scientifically, not figuratively, scientifically, every time you hit somebody in a football game, it's the equivalent to a car crash. You are trying to hit at the hardest you can. You got grown men running full speed at one another. We are trying to hit each other. It's collision. It's supposed to happen. The game moves too fast. You mean to tell me, look, I'm 5'9", 5'10", whatever. I'm a 5'9", 5'10" safety, and I got 6'8", 280-pound Gronkowski coming at me full speed. Come on, man. Like, what? I mean, come on. I got 0.5 seconds to make a choice. You're going to get hurt in football. It's inevitable. You're going to get hurt. You just pray to God it ain't that bad, and you can play with it or play through it or something. But the fact of the matter is this. In football, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hurt. God forbid, you're going to get injured. And you know what? Every year in football, somebody blows their knee out. Somebody gets put on a stretcher and gets put into an ambulance. It happens every year. And that's a sad reality of the game, but that's why we played it. That's why we went out there. Because of the violence of it. Because of the adrenaline rush. That fear of saying, man, I may not come back to this locker. I may not come back to this dorm room. I may spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair. That's scary. My sons ain't playing football until they're big enough and mature enough to really understand and make peace within themselves that this is a game you're going to play. I didn't play football till high school. It's a violent game and you can't change it. Now, and like I said, this 1K Sports Uncut. So I give everyone a chance to give their point of view. The NFL's point of view is this. We got sued the hell out of by ex-players and ex-wives and ex-people from the NFL from back in the day about concussion and CTE. And I'm not going to lie. $1 billion out your pocket will make you think. $1 billion in lawsuit, yeah, it'll make you think sometimes. But the NFL, they overreacted. They didn't sue y'all because they got hurt. They sued y'all because of y'all misdiagnosis. They sued y'all because y'all overlooked this serious injury. Now today, with the new science we got going on, the new sports medicine, the new technology, everything will be all right. A torn ACL was once the end of your career. But now, you'll be back in a minute. Exactly. And Matt, you know that, bro. You live that same fear. How many teammates have you saw carted off? I've seen too many. Some of the scariest things I ever saw in my life was on a football field. It traumatizes you, man. It tears you down, but you love it. The guys that go to war in Iraq, or, Afghanistan, they know, hey, I just might die. I just might die. I just might get hurt playing football, but I love it and I'm going to keep doing it. Exactly. $1 billion is why the NFL is tripping. Now, me personally, I ain't got $1 billion. So I understand. But the NFL is completely overlooking why they got sued. It's not because they got hurt. It's not because they got hurt. Exactly. And good point, Eddie B. Like I just said, my sons ain't playing football until they get old enough so they can realize. I know what they're going to be in for. They have to understand it for themselves, and they have to make that peace within themselves to say, you know what? I just might get hurt playing this game. Daddy can't save me out here. So I'm going to go do it. But it's going to be their choice, not something I put on them. It has to be their choice. Exactly. And I've been hurt. I've been in my dorm room with my leg cocked up, ice on my shoulder. I've been just like, man, but you love it. It's what you do it for. And you pray to God you come out alive. NFL players, a real player, like man to man. And Eddie, you can attest to this, Eddie, because you play defense. Any real player, any real conversation between two football players, they will tell you, look, bro, if it comes down to it, hit me in the head. Hit me in my chest. Don't hit me down there. Don't hit me in my knees, man. My knees, my feet, this is how I walk. Those are my money makers. That's how I move the way I move. It's my legs and my feet. So if you got me at your mercy, I don't see you coming, and you got a clean shot to knock me out, knock me out. Don't hit my knees. Don't go for my knees and my legs, man. Because I would much rather remember my address than learn how to walk again. And that's just me. I don't know how everybody else feels about that. But me, I would much rather sit there and try to remember what my full name is than to never, ever be able to walk again. And football players, we have that conversation, and that's the part the media is not talking about. That's the part the media won't talk about between us, the players, in our locker rooms, in our fraternities. We're saying, look, bro, if it comes down to it, you can knock me out. You can knock me out cold. Just don't go for my knees. This helmet to helmet rule, man, is killing careers. TJ Ward had a clean shot on Gronkowski. Should have just knocked him out, but you know what? He saw a $50,000 fine. He saw, right, Eddie. You hated, like you are 6'6", 250. You hated getting chop blocked. You didn't mind a helmet to helmet shot. Hell, hit me in the head. Hit me in the head. Don't go for my knees. You just might ruin my career. Gronkowski is a great player, but his career is dying by the minute with his injuries because guys are going for his knees. TJ Ward had a clean shot, but he said, "Oh my God, I ain't paying $50,000. I ain't got a big old fat contract yet. I'm still playing on a rookie deal. I ain't got a whole lot of money, and Gronk coming at me full speed. I'm not finna get ran over." So he went low. But that's what this rule has created. And because of this BS rule, and because we can't change it, guess what? It's all a domino effect. Once you start screwing with the product, Then you start screwing with the market. Now you messing up guys' money. Now Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald are dinosaurs. You mean to tell me the last two defensive players of the year, Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald, can't get a brand new contract? Now everyone's saying, oh, their demands are outrageous. They want too much money. The rules are changing. No. You're messing with these guys' money now. Because y'all had to come out y'all pocket for $1 billion to pay to dead NFL players, to the Mike Websters of the world, the Junior Seau's of the world, Aaron Hernandez of the world. Because y'all refused to tell them the truth. You didn't tell them what was really wrong with them. That's why you got sued. You didn't get sued because they got hurt. You got sued because you lied to them. You got sued because you told the guy, oh, all you guys a little headache, you'll be fine. When the guy has a full-blown concussion, you lied to this guy. Now, I watched the old school Gridiron Greats, man. I saw Mike Webster play. His family ain't suing you over no injury. He knows that. He made peace with that. But then here you come. You lose $1 billion. You lose $1 billion because you lied. And now you're ruining the market. You're ruining this game. That we, the players, we are the damn show. We are what they come to see. We are the attraction. We're the ones getting hit. We're the ones getting knocked out. Where's our opinion? Do we matter? Can we say something about it? You ever stop to ask a player how they felt about it? Come on. No matter what you do, you will never make football safe, ever. Y'all changing all these rules, and running backs are still have a shelf life of 3 years. Hell, I watch Zeke Elliott running football. I get scareder and scareder, man, because no matter what y'all do, the game will not change. Hey, love you too, Matt, man. Bees a dog. Roll Tide, baby. Exactly. But the thing is, Eddie, we as players, now, like I said, we are the ones out there on the football field. And we ourselves have made peace with the fact that we play football. So if we have no issue with it, and we've already told our wife and kids, look, I play this violent game. I just may not make it home to you. That's the risk you take. We are the attraction. So if the NFL players say, look, man, just let us play. We've already made this peace with ourselves, man. We understand what could happen out here. So let us play. Let it go. Don't take away this beautiful game. Yeah, it's violent. It's grimy. But it's beautiful. We love it. We live for it. We live for Sunday and Saturdays and Thursday nights and Monday nights. Pastors are cutting their sermons short. I know a pastor who takes in church at 10, gets out at 12, kiss some babies, how you doing, God bless you. He home at 12:30. Dinner cooked, football on TV. The game is beautiful, y'all. Don't change it. Football is the greatest game ever. It is. Crazy as it sounds, yes, it's violent, it's nasty, but it's the greatest game ever, man. We love it. And if the players have made peace with it, then let it go. Let it go, man. Let it go, man. Just let the game be. You lost $1 billion. Okay, poor you. I'm pretty sure the NFL has made that $1 billion back times 50. Come on, man. Don't let your lie, your mistake, ruin this great game. You didn't get sued because of the injury or the safety. You got sued because you lied. Plain and simple. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. All right, y'all. Well, that takes care of the sports section, but I'm a diverse show. And as you all know, all my faithful power watchers, we lost a family member. Kanan was brutally murdered by Kanan brutally murdered NYPD, and then he bled to death because of a gunshot. Now, I know a lot of y'all tripping. A lot of y'all probably saying, oh, he got to go for real now. Tyreek got to go now for real. But pump the brakes, y'all. Now, when I watch Power, I watch the whole thing. I don't just watch, the show. I watch the after credit. I watch the interview with Courtney Kemp afterwards. If you watch Power, please watch Courtney Kemp's Inside Power segment when it goes off. Trust me, you'll understand a whole lot more. Man, stop. Darnell Grant, stamp. We ain't got time for the negative energy, my brother. So please, you watch Power, man. You know what I'm talking about. But I want y'all to understand something, man. Like, Kanan died. It's messed up. He's dead. He got set up. He's dead. But understand something, man. This is what makes Power a great show. One of the all-time great shows. The seeds of Kanan's death was planted in season 2 when he killed his son, Shine. Now, as we all know, Tariq went from a really good kid to a gangster. Where did it start? Everybody who knows someone in the streets, there's always some event that led you down this path of I don't give a darn anymore. And for Tariq, it was Sean's death. That was the foundation of him becoming the man that he become. Now, who is responsible for that? Kanan. Kanan gave Tariq his first real pain that couldn't be fixed. So in a way, Tariq had to set up Kanan. Because from that misfortune, in his life of crime, his sister got killed. People have gotten hurt because of his actions. So this mess that's going on right now was his mess. So he had to fix it. He didn't want to. He regrets fixing it. He loved Kanan like a father. He probably didn't really want to go through with it, but he did. Because he had to fix a mess that he made off the foundation of the wrongdoing of Kanan. Now, Kanan's gone. Y'all got to accept that and get on with your lives, people. All right? I'm sad, too. I watched Power 3 times a day. I can't believe it either. I mean, I'm like, dang, is he dead for real? He's dead for real, y'all. All right? Kanan ain't coming back. But just like on The Wire, when Omar died, and I'm like, man, what's going to happen now? Well, enter Mike. Kanan's dead. Guess what? Enter Tariq. So keep y'all heads up. As you all know, Kanan's funeral will be this Saturday at Big Rich Town Baptist Church. I want to read y'all a quote. An undercover liar who lies undercover shall perish. Amen. So all y'all who need a suit, hit me up, man. See y'all Saturday at Kanan's funeral. And see y'all Sunday for season 5, episode 9. All right? Get over it. It was inevitable. Kanan had to die. But he won't be the last, people. Like I said, thank y'all so much for tuning in today. Thank you all for the support, man. Everyone who chimed in and, gave me y'all thoughts and everything like that. We 8 shows in, man. I mean, wow. We really got some big things going on here. Me and my man Manny. Shout out my team, Manny, Donald, Gene, all you guys, man. I love you guys, man. We got big things coming up for y'all, man. We're going to be doing live shows. Football's coming up. We got FanDuel coming up, man. I got so many great things in store for y'all. So y'all, all my supporters, man, all my loyal, followers, man. Thank y'all so much for the support. Big things coming, man. Like I said, 1K Sports Uncut, baby. Unbiased, unfiltered, unapologetic, man. Check us out on YouTube, 1K Sports Uncut. We on Instagram, Twitter, all that, man. I got something in the works right now to where if you guys miss my shows on Monday, they will be live on the radio, on the internet radio. I'll give y'all more details once I'm not detailed with all that. But hey, like I said, man, 1K Sports Uncut, man. We just getting started, man. Get used to it. Get comfortable, baby. Love y'all. Peace out.